I never thought my own sister would turn into my biggest enemy. We grew up together, sharing secrets, clothes, and even dreams. But the day my daughter fell sick, I saw a side of her that I could never forgive. My daughter, Emily, was only 10 when she was diagnosed with a rare illness. As a mother, I was already carrying the weight of fear, sleepless nights, and endless hospital visits. All I ever wanted from my family was support, but instead, I got humiliation. It happened one evening during a family dinner at my parents' house. Everyone was gathered around the table, my parents, my sister Olivia, her husband, and even some cousins. Emily wasn't feeling well, so she sat quietly next to me. Suddenly, Olivia smirked and said loudly, "Why do you even bring her here? She looks so weak, like a little ghost. Maybe she just wants attention." The entire table went silent. My little girl lowered her eyes, trying to fight back tears. I froze, my heart burning with anger and pain. I expected my parents to say something, but they didn't. They just looked down at their plates, pretending nothing had happened. Olivia didn't stop there. She leaned back in her chair and added, "You know, kids who are always sick never really have a future. Maybe you should stop wasting money on doctors." That was it. My hands trembled, but I held Emily close to me. That night, I swore I would never forgive Olivia for mocking my daughter's pain. Days turned into weeks, and while I fought for Emily's health, fate handed me an unexpected weapon. My late aunt, who had always loved me like her own daughter, passed away and left me a huge inheritance, a sum of money and ownership of a beautiful house. At first, I planned to sell the property to fund Emily's treatment. But then, I discovered something interesting. Olivia and her husband had been drowning in debt. Their own house was under mortgage, and they were secretly looking for ways to save it. They even came to me one evening, pretending to be kind, asking for financial help. I smiled, hiding my rage. That was the moment I knew, they had mocked my sick child, and now it was time for them to pay. When Olivia asked for my help, I agreed, but on one condition. I told her I'd buy her house and let her live there temporarily until she could pay me back. She jumped at the offer, desperate and foolish enough to trust me. The paperwork was signed within a week. Legally, the house was mine. And I didn't stop there. I made sure the contract stated that if they failed to repay within 6 months, they'd have to vacate immediately. Of course, I knew they could never pay me back. During those 6 months, Olivia treated me with fake sweetness. She invited me for tea, called me "sister dearest," and even tried to play with Emily, pretending to care. But Emily remembered her cruelty. She would always whisper, "Mom, don't trust her." 6 months later, the day came. I sent Olivia the official notice. Her face turned pale as she read it. She stormed into my house, screaming, "You can't do this to me. This is my home." I looked her in the eyes and said, "No, Olivia. It was your home. You mocked my sick daughter in front of everyone. You broke her spirit. Now you know what it feels like to lose everything you love." She begged, she cried, she even fell on her knees. But I didn't move. Within a week, she and her family were forced to leave. The same relatives who had once laughed at her cruel jokes now watched her humiliation. With the inheritance and the house under my name, I finally had enough to give Emily the best medical care. Slowly, my little girl recovered. Her smile returned, and that was worth more than any property in the world. As for Olivia, she never forgave me. But I didn't need her forgiveness. She had taken away my daughter's dignity, and I had taken away everything she loved. That was the balance of justice, the kind only life can deliver.